food was not something that we were going to skimp on. We could have definitely saved a lot more money by eating ramen, but instead we decided to be bougie. We got chicken, quinoa, all these veggies. A delicious meal. Hey guys, my name is Shayla and I make these videos every Wednesday. I've been traveling full-time since 2015 and I make these videos every Wednesday to give you some tips for traveling and give you some stories on the road. So this Wednesday we are in New Zealand and we will be here for the next 2 months living in our camper van. So far, we've been here for about a week and a half and we've been doing a lot of driving. Well, let me correct myself. Seth has been doing a lot of driving. It's on the other side of the car, on the other side of the road. We're gonna be on this for another 3 miles.
Yep. Aye, Captain.
We're headed down to the southern island, but before we get there, we're stopping at Lake Taupo. And I'm not sure if he doesn't trust me to drive. He says he just really, really likes driving. Eventually. On the North Island, it was flooding, and we took this thing through this, like, a field and a field and a road. There had been so much water that it was now going over the road. And like it wasn't a current, but it was going over the road. This van is like a 4-wheel drive, beastie tires, diesel. There was this tiny little Mini Cooper going through it. So we decided, all right, we could do it. And good old Dory got stuck in the middle. The vehicle literally turned off in the middle. We had to crawl out the window. You know, what do you grab in a burning building? So I grabbed the electronics, the passport, and the money. I put the backpacks on, started walking, and locals were like, get back in your car. We're gonna push you out of this. So that's when I drove. Got to drive us out of the water. But we decided we wanted to stay in one place for a while. Instead of going boom, 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 boom all over the country, we wanted to go and stay in one spot. We did it in Lake Taupo. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, so if you do write it phonetically underneath, I'm gonna just maybe say it a few different ways and maybe one time I'll hit the jackpot.
Do a backflip off. This girl is gonna eat it. Well, got that on camera.
Lake Taupo, we stayed at for 3 days. There's campsites everywhere, but then you have skydiving, bungee jumping, jet skis. What else did I write down? Waterfalls, geothermal pools, breweries, cafes. Oh, and then there's like a golf thing where on the edge of the lake you can golf and try and hit the ball onto this little, whatever. There's a lot to do. I'd say our budget was mostly on cafes. I can easily and safely say this is where we spent the majority of the last 3 days. Breweries. We like breweries, but we're not big drinkers. We were thinking about brew hopping. We'll see how that goes. Hashtag lightweights. Seth convinced me that we should do a jet ski. What?
It was fun.
He started out on the jet ski just like, oh, I know, I'm gonna see how far down I can go with throttle. And I was like, don't drift, don't do this. I'm scared, you're turning, it's fast, whatever. And then I drove and I was like, oh, okay. You have way more control than you feel like you have on the back. Once I went a little crazy, I basically gave him the green light to do whatever he wanted to do. I was just screaming and laughing and I couldn't breathe. I was about to throw up because I was having so much fun. Bye! Thank you! It reminded us of home, honestly. It was lake life with a bunch of breweries and a bunch of activities and it was so much fun. We went to something called Craters of the Moon and honestly, I'll show you a couple clips of it. And then you probably have seen all of it and you don't really need to go. If you're into like geothermal pools and you know about all of the science and earth stuff, it'd be really cool. The ground was smoking. It was a nice hour-long walk, but you could do an hour-long walk around the lake. It wasn't our thing, it could be yours, your call. And then there's geothermal pools that you can go to. It's hot water, you go sit in it, you go get all the benefits.
Come on guys, follow me.
Oh yeah. Woo! There is a hike that we really wanted to do called Tongariro. Is that right? Tongariro. Everyone says we have got to do it, but we looked at the weather and it was raining and we're like, well, we don't really want to do it. It's raining. Let's do it when we come back. Done and done. So wait maybe a month and a half and you will see that hike. It's like a 15-mile hike. It takes all day long. You get shuttled from the end back to the beginning. Like we said, we wanted to be in one spot, really get a good feel for it instead of just moving so much. Well, be careful what you wish for, because now Hurricane Gita is coming and we can't go anywhere. We literally are trying to get to the South Island, and right where, like, Wellington's at the bottom of the top island, and then you have the South Island, and the hurricane or cyclone is going right through it. You're not about to get on a 3-hour ferry with your vehicle to cross because you're probably gonna vomit. I was asking people, because Seth's like, it'll be fine, we'll be fine. But of course, I need to know everything. I keep asking everyone, and someone was like, yeah, they're being told to get food and water and flip over their trampolines. Is that a big thing here? Does everyone have trampolines that are just kind of a hazard? I don't know, I just thought it was a funny little fact that she had it in there. Now we're just kind of stuck and we're literally just here. It's Tuesday now. They say it's gonna last till like Thursday or Friday. So we're just trying to figure out what exactly to do until then. In the last video, everybody was like, oh my gosh, you guys are so smitten, this is so beautiful. Don't get this twisted. Living in a van with someone in very short quarters, and Seth is right here, he's gonna go, yeah, this is true, it's not easy. We're both trying to figure out our systems. There's only really space for one of us to be in here, so if I'm changing, he's just kind of like waiting outside. If he's changing, I'm in here trying to do, he's wondering why I'm in his space. Those like hard eyes that we were doing in the last video, that was all really cute and the banter back and forth, but it's not always like that. Neither one of us have brushed our teeth yet this morning because we ran out of water. We need to shower desperately. We've got a bag of dirty clothes here.
Traveling and living on a one-way. Dirty porta potties. It smelled really bad in there.
He's always driving. You're so thug, Seth. I'm always the one grabbing things, so it's just like trying to figure out all the things and like separate time. Like today, I went to the bathroom by myself and I was like, well, why didn't you invite me to the bathroom? But that's just ridiculous. You need just to figure out how each other works in a very, 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 very small, tight space where you're always together and there's really nowhere else for you to go. So yes, obviously this is great and amazing and I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, it's not all butterflies and rainbows and unicorns. If you could smell me right now, you would believe me. What do you guys think? You think you could live in a van? And for how long? Because that's a good question. Some people are like, oh, I could do it for like a weekend. Yeah, so that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully next week we're on the South Island because that's where we're trying to get to. We want to get to the mountains. So wish us luck in the cyclone. We're gonna try and stay a little bit north for the next couple days. And I will see you guys all next week. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah! Bye!